The Isofarian Guard. uh, just like I made in the previous movie, I compiled, made a book. Well, two in fact, by sewing the insides, then folding the back page, and then finally folding the front page. And here it is, the rulebook and reference guide for the Isofarian Guard. This is the effect of a project that was started, I think, 2 years ago, and it was a very simple game with a small story and simple combat. It was that juvenile that I at one time cancelled my pledge, and later they expanded combat and made it much more engaging. It is not driven by dice, but by chips, and it is for 1 to 2 players playing 1 to 2 guards. And I spent quite a lot of time proofreading also. The team is very stubborn, to say the least. They finally figured out they needed an editor, and those editors put in the work and made it from badly written text to somewhat better. I had printed the earliest version for the Isofarian Guard. That was like rulebook and the first story combined. Well, first story, the story where the guard meets the king and then goes into exile. And after the exile, the world of Isofar opens up to him. I don't know the full story. The full story is 5 books, and they also included noob difficulty mode. And the creator says, well, I always play on nightmare mode, Tenebris, it's called. And normal mode is just too easy. And if you know how the playtesters reacted, they had quite some difficulty with normal mode. So I recommend to everybody to start the first part of the story with noob mode. So let's take a look at what the rulebook and the reference guide entail. Normally what you have is a reference guide has all the definitions and does not refer to anything but itself. And the rulebook refers to the reference guide terms and works with the terms to give it meaning, to make the to keep the flow of things clear and concise. I try to explain that to the Sky Kingdom Games, Kingdom Games, SKJ. Well, I think for the thousands of backers, there was quite some discussion if there were hidden Christian meanings, and the response, well, was, well, we put something of ourselves into many parts of the game, so it can still mean anything, and it's also suspiciously low priced. So there were some thoughts about like the church was secretly backing the game, so it has stirred quite some discussion in the social media fora, as far as I can say. So let's start with the rulebook, because that is the rules. I think I have to zoom out a little bit because it will be a bit too much in your face. Sorry for this. I think this should be enough. Okay, rulebook. So let's start with. Oh, yeah. Well, the first book I printed was in A5. This is A4 print. A5, and A5 was just fine to read, but I thought let's do it the official way and print it in A4. But I think if you can read it from the screen, I think you can. Then you know that the text is a bit too larger than it has to be, and also there are a lot of dead spaces that have no well, and that's a motif that also comes through in the design of the game. That's something that we as a European you have to accept that that things are not as efficient as you would like them to have. Okay, welcome to Isofar, a wild land severe in its beauty. Isofarian people take great pride in their ability to flourish among the hostile wildlife and cruel elements of their mountainous home. As a member of the Isofarian Guard, life is never dull. You try to keep the peace among your fellow Isofarians, a never-ending job, as well as deal with constant threats from the aggressive Falmouth Empire to the south. But now the old patterns are shifting, and new forces are at work that will challenge the very underpinnings of reality. You will guide 8 different Isofarian guards throughout 5 interweaving campaigns, as they deal with a power that threatens not only Isofar but the entire world. In the Isofarian Guard, you will travel throughout the cities and wildernesses of Isofar on a beautifully illustrated world map, fight off enemies using a unique and highly customizable battle system, and use your wits to talk your way out of sticky situations. As you forge important alliances, opportunities will arise for you to craft stronger gear, gain new powers, and step into the destiny you will call to. Okay, so this is a okay introduction. It gives some setting, but you don't know what the Isofarian Guard actually is. There is a reference to a mountainous home, so they have some kind of base of operations, but it's not even worthy of a name. And Isofar is not a place. I mean, you can be say you have Fort Istra, and then you are the Istran Guard, but Isofarian Guard means like the national guard of the country of Isofar. But the country of Isofar is not really mentioned here, only that it has some kind of unit comparison with Falmouth Empire. So, but for an introduction, it's okay. Well, the Isofarian Guard is a solo co-op, narrative-driven adventure board game for 1 to 2 players. In the Isofarian Guard, you lead a group of guards from the country of Isofar in the world of Telios, in a cooperative narrative-driven campaign full of adventure, battle, exploration, and choices as you traverse the various areas of Isofar. This is one of the main problems I had with the writing style of Sky Kingdom games, because they make these sentences so long and they don't actually say that much. Anyway, I mean, narrative is set 1 sentence above it. This is not the final version of the books. There will be some minor editings, but this gives you a 95% good idea of what to expect. Okay, now winning the game. Oh yeah, here the campaigns must be played in sequential order, starting with campaign 1 and finishing with campaign 5. So that's actually useful. And well, you win or complete the game by finishing all of the campaigns. You cannot die. You simply restart from the last save point, and there is only a single last save point. Now the components. This is a good structure to start with components. So you at least after this blurb of text you get some reference frame. So I'm not here to criticize the book quality, but merely to show you and to give an indication of the quality of what you can expect and why I am still very enthusiastic about this game. So here you see the small outline of the map. I don't know if that is useful here, but they have a big map included, and based on my and other people's demands, also a paper version that you can cut up or fold out, fold in. So you only play in this part if you want to. You don't need all this table space. That's not serving any purpose. The Okay, I see I'm over my 10-minute limit. So I'll quit and continue on the next video.